My name is Professor Heinrich Segenschmidt. I'm from Germany, and I was invited to this conference for my credentials regarding the field of radiation medicine. It is a little bit different from radiation oncology because oncology fights against cancer cells, kills them, and by killing them, also treating successfully cancer. That was my obligation. That was I've learned. However, there is another side of the same coin with very low dose radiotherapy. And with low dose radiotherapy, you stimulate cells to get against, let's say, malignant cells, which is causing inflammation or hyperproliferation. For example, you can have inflammation in joints. You can have them on insertion points of tendons. You could have hyperproliferation in keloids, that is protruding scars, or in the hand, Dupuytren's disease or Lederhost disease. And all these different applications can be treated with radiation. However, the world has learned that radiation is dangerous. It was one example, a publication in 1961 by Court, Brown and Dole. It was called malignant irradiation for benign condition. What was the fact? About 10,000 young people had been treated for pain because of spondylitis in the spine, and or so-called morbus Bechterew, and 106, so a total of 0.6% developed leukemia. So you may say 0.6% is something very dangerous, but how many side effects you have from pharmacy, from surgery? But at that time it counted, and it was abundant in the international world. However, in Germany, we preserved the treatment, and in 1989, Germany opened the wall, and East Germany, not as equipped as West Germany, with all their experience in benign diseases, brought this experience to Western Germany. And we were also lucky to have the foundation of Radiation Oncology Society in 1995. We split off of radiology, and in 1996 I was assigned to be the chairman of the radiation group, which was named a German Cooperative Group of Radiation for Benign Conditions. With this task, I had only a few people on my side. I decided several things. First of all, we had to educate radiation technicians, educate physicians and physicists. And so for that reason, I organized every year one annual conference from 1999 to 2009. And the presenters were obliged to present a written paper. So we made compendiums and collected 9 compendiums over the year. And from that on, I also collected the papers and translated them into English, and had the idea of bringing out a book. And those textbook was published in 2008 by Springer Publishers. And to my mind, it is the only in single textbook with an explicit text. The other textbook, which is existed, is just in tabular form by Sarah Donaldson. And we are just in the process of bringing out the second edition of this book, but contains many more indications and diseases. The first book already has 700 pages, 40 chapters, and it runs from low-dose rate therapy for osteoarthritis, tendinitis, for example, heel spur or tennis elbow, to medium dose like hyperproliferative diseases like keloids or morbus Peyronie, morbus Dupuytren on the hand, or morbus Lederhost on the foot. But there are also some high dose indications like acoustic neuromas or some very high doses. With one dose was the first delivery with the trigeminal nerve palsy and nerve pain. So the dose range is from low to high, and the intention, it's non-oncological. However, I always tell the story of the two sisters. They have all both shoulder pain. The one is treated with fancy radiation techniques for bone metastasis. She recurs and she dies after 1.5 years. And the sister waits for half a year to get a first appointment. She has only shoulder arthrosis. So shoulder pain is the leading situation, and she will survive for 20 years. And we are an aging society. Yeah? People beyond the age of 50 will have pain for degenerative disorder. Or you have young people who play tennis or do running, and they will have a sportive induced fasciitis or tendinitis. And all this can be treated with low-dose radiotherapy. In the Arabian countries, you are less prone to develop Lipitor and Lederhost disease, but you can develop keloid. That is the scar being big, protrusive after a certain